Well, hello, lovelies. Now, when I think dinner, I don't often think salad, and let's be honest, for good reason. Very few salads are filling enough to achieve dinner status in my household. But today we're gonna change all that with 3 new dinner-worthy salad ideas I think you guys are really going to adore. The best part about salad for dinner is that it's truly a dinner made easy because there's very little cooking, if any, involved. We're gonna kick things off today with my BLT Panzanella salad. Now, if you're not familiar with the concept of a Panzanella salad, it's basically a bread salad. So you essentially are going to take your bread, turn it into croutons, and then toss it with all sorts of deliciousness. In this case, it's BLT deliciousness, so you know it's gonna be good. To get started, I have 1 sourdough loaf that I just cut into 1-inch cubes. I've arranged them on a baking sheet and I'm going to toss them lightly in a little bit of olive oil. You can hit this with some salt and pepper if you want, but that's totally optional. We'll get this into the oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit until it's just lightly crisp. You want it to be a little browned on the outside and crisp on the edges. Not quite a crouton, but headed in that direction. That usually takes about 10 to 12 minutes in the oven. While my bread is cooling, I'm gonna go ahead and mix up a really simple vinaigrette. Basically, I'm just mixing some olive oil, some white wine vinegar, a little bit of Dijon mustard, some chopped fresh basil, and salt and pepper. I'll whisk all of this yumminess together, and then we can get to work just assembling our salad. So I've got my bread in my bowl like so, and I'm going to get my BLT on. So in goes my bacon, my lettuce that's been finely chopped, and some cherry tomatoes. Then we're gonna top this all off with our dressing. It's really important to note in a salad like this, you do not wanna dress it until right before you eat it because you worked so hard to make that bread nice and crisp, you don't wanna get it soggy. We're gonna toss all of this tastiness in that yummy dressing. And guys, it's as easy as that. Dinner is served. You can go ahead and serve this salad in a nice heaping portion for everyone. So super flavorful thanks to that basil and of course all of that bacon and lettuce and tomato. What is not to love? Next, guys, we are going to be making a Tuscan white bean salad that seriously eats like a meal, which is why I love it so much. As I often do for this salad, I am starting by mixing up my dressing. So I've got some olive oil in my bowl. To that, I'm going to add some red wine vinegar. I have some Dijon mustard, some fresh chopped parsley, and finally, some salt and pepper. I'll whisk this until it's nice and well combined, and then we can assemble our salad. Now, as the base for this salad, I am using some finely chopped kale. Of course, you could use any kinds of greens here, but kale is so nice and hearty. It really, really works well in a dinner salad. All I'm going to do to make our kale a little more palatable is basically massage it with half of our dressing. So I'm just going to get in with my hands for 2 or 3 minutes. I know this always sounds a bit strange, but massaging your kale is the best way to help that sort of chewiness break down and for it to become nice and soft and tender. Once our kale has had an ample rub down, you can go ahead and put that in your serving dish. Then we could just load in some white beans. I'm using canned white beans that have been drained and rinsed. For a little additional protein, I am also adding some nice big chunks of salami to this. Obviously, this is totally optional. You could keep it totally vegetarian if you wanted to. And then I've got a whole heaping helping of incredible Mediterranean-inspired ingredients, including roasted red peppers, some artichoke hearts that have been finely chopped, as well as some chopped Kalamata olives. We're also going to add some finely chopped shallot to the top of this. So tons of good stuff happening in this salad. We'll finish this off by pouring over the rest of our dressing. And guys, dinner is served. The best part about a salad like this is because it's so hearty, you can definitely dress it in advance. The longer it sits in the dressing, the better it becomes. Our final dinner salad is something a little bit different today. It's actually inspired by a Malaysian salad I think is called Rojak. If I pronounce that wrong, I apologize, and please feel free to correct me in the comment section below. Either way, it is full of deliciousness that I think you guys will absolutely love. Now for the protein in this salad, I'm actually going to be starting by frying up some extra firm tofu. I've got a nonstick skillet heating up on the stove. I'm just going to add a little bit of oil to that. Once that oil is hot, I'm going to get my tofu cubes into the pan and let them cook away, tossing them often until they turn nice and golden. I love tofu, A, because it just soaks up any sauce around it, and B, because of course it cooks up in a flash, and what is not to love about that? While that's cooking away, I'm going to mix up a really delicious sauce for this salad. It all starts with the zest and juice of 1 lime. To that, I'm going to add a good splash of fish sauce. Now, if you're not into fish sauce, you could sub in some soy sauce here, but trust me, fish sauce makes this extra delicious. I'll also add some tamarind paste to this, a little bit of agave for sweetness, and some sambal, which is basically a delicious spicy chili paste that you can usually find in the international aisle at your supermarket. And finally, I have some freshly grated ginger, actually lots of freshly grated ginger. We'll whisk all of this tastiness together like so, and then we will pull this whole salad together. To do so, I am starting with a bed of baby spinach. You could definitely use any greens you wanted here, but spinach just felt right with the rest of these amazing ingredients. To my spinach, I am going to add my crisped up tofu. Then I am going to pile in some red cabbage. You guys know how obsessed I am with red cabbage in my kitchen. That's because it's a cruciferous vegetable and we should all have more of it in our diets. Next, I am going to add some cucumbers. So you can see we have maximum crunch happening here. Now that we've got this nice crunch happening, we're going to add some nice fruitiness with some chopped mango and some chopped fresh pineapple, and then get it all dressed. I'm going to finish this all off with some chopped peanuts and some fresh mint for good measure, and then it is ready to be enjoyed. Now, I know this sounds a little different than the salads you're probably used to eating, but sometimes it's a really good idea to experiment with your food. Trust me, have I ever led you astray? I hope you'll give all 3 of these tasty ideas a try, and if you do, be sure to tweet me, Instagram me, or Facebook me a photo, because I love seeing your kitchen creations. The recipes, as always, are in the description box below, so you can take a look for them there. And finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, because there is lots more dinner deliciousness where this came from.